Yeah, once again, good morning, everyone. So if there is any voice disturbance or anything, please let us know, okay? And if there are any queries in between, please stop me and then you can ask me exactly. Ramya, is the voice clear now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, so we shall start actually. I think it's already 8:02, right? Okay, fine. Good morning once again. And today we'll be discussing about transaction and loyalty management module in banking domain exactly. Okay, see in most of the real-time projects, right? Exactly, like we'll be having transaction and loyalty management exactly, and it is related to a banking domain project. Okay, we'll discuss about that in detail exactly. And today is the demo session. What I will try to do, what will be covered in this particular project, and what are the connectors, what are the components, what are the tasks, or what are the APIs we will be covering. We'll see all those things exactly, and then from tomorrow we'll see in detail exactly. Okay, today as it is a demo, I'll give you the high level picture of the entire things, like how we'll be doing and what we will be covering in the session and all. Based on that, at least you'll get some understanding how we will be proceeding further exactly. Okay, right. Before going into the project details exactly, I just wanted to go with some prerequisites exactly, and then I wanted to move to project exactly. Okay, let me set the agenda for today. The agenda is like, see, we have, first of all, we'll discuss about the common integration project requirements. Generally, what happens is in most of the projects, whatever I observed as per my experience, right? Most of the requirements will be revolving around some services exactly. Okay, we'll discuss that first before proceeding the project. Now what happens, at least you know like what are the common things required for proceeding to the project exactly. Okay, then we will discuss about the project life cycle discussion. Like normally we discuss API life cycle, right? The same way we'll be having the project life cycle. Project life cycle, we'll see that, and then we'll see the brief introduction about the project, whatever we wanted to proceed further exactly. And then we'll see the detailed course content, what will be covered under the project, right? Then a brief introduction about me also, like see whether I'm eligible to teach you or not exactly, like I need to introduce myself to you, right? I'll tell my credibility, what I have done so far, what is the experience and all. I'll take most probably like 2-3 minutes, not more than that exactly. And then I'll be proceeding for the further section. Then we'll see, actually, normally we follow a different training approach exactly. It's not similar to the outside organizations. I'll tell you the approach, how if you follow this training approach, you'll get the maximum out of it exactly. Okay, because of that reason, I always insist or emphasize this to all the trainees exactly, like follow this approach. See, software training is equivalent to maths only. Okay, if you practice more, you'll get it. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to proceed further, and you'll not be able to land in a job exactly. That is the reason I always tell that, see, only 34% is of ours, and rest 65% of effort is yours only. Okay, if you come forward with doubts and queries and all, obviously we'll be able to clear them, and then you'll be it will be a cakewalk for you people to proceed with the job and all exactly. Okay, fine. This is the agenda for today. Will not take much time in each section, and in the project section I'll take a little bit more time. In the rest sections, you people are aware of what is MuleSoft, what are the capabilities of MuleSoft and all, right? Because of that reason, I will not be able to taking all those things exactly. Okay, I'll be proceeding with the common integration, project lifecycle discussion, and then please come. Okay, the topics covered, and if there are any queries in between, please let me know. Okay, please raise your hand and you can ask actually. See, as both offline and online are going on exactly, it would be difficult to monitor. Please raise your voice and ask exactly. Actually, what happens is, in the integration market, as per my experience, and even I have observed so many colleagues projects and all exactly, right? After analyzing all the integration requirements, the integration requirements will revolve around these particular services exactly. Okay, what are those services? The REST services, we will consume some REST services, we'll consume some SOAP services, we'll consume some file FTP, SFTP, system connectors, and database connectors. Mostly, if you work on a project with these services, it will be very easy for you to work in the real time also. Okay, any project, most of the time, they'll be revolving around these requirements. What are those? REST, SOAP, file, FTP, SFTP. These three fall into the same kind of category. Obviously, they are in the same family, right? Obviously, and system connectors. What are system connectors exactly? Like, for example, like Salesforce, like SAP, or ServiceNow, Jira, these kind of connectors. See, if we know one connector, like how to work on all, it will be easier for you to connect to the other systems also. It will not be a difficult part exactly. Because see, all are the same. Maybe you'll be entering the URL, maybe giving the username, password, and some authorizations. See, all these system connectors also will be having the similar kind of requirement, but there will be a terminology change exactly from connector to connector. Because of that reason, system connectors also play a major role. But in our project, what we will try to do, we cannot see there are almost 200 plus connectors in MuleSoft. We cannot connect to all 200 systems and show exactly. Because of that reason, what we will try to do, we will try to connect to SFDC, Salesforce, in our project actually. Now what happens, at least you know one Salesforce connector, a Salesforce system connector, where you will be able to extend your talent or knowledge, which is already available on Salesforce, to the other connectors exactly. Now what happens after the project, you people also again have to explore what are the most used connectors and all, and you have to practice that also. Now, along with that, and we have a database connector also. See, almost as per my experience, 80% of the projects, okay, if we know these services, you'll be able to do the project inside the organization without any. For example, like in the recent project, I got AWS connector exactly. Okay, I got a chance to work because I have a team and they'll be doing it, but still I have never worked on AWS connector, for example. Now I have the leverage to tell I haven't worked on AWS connector till now. But as an experienced person, what I should do, I have some connectors experience, right? If I explore the AWS connector, what happens? It will be very easier for me to understand and absorb the content and immediately start working on it exactly. See, that is the way you also have to extend your knowledge there exactly. See, you have the leverage to tell I haven't worked on this particular concept. Okay, there are certain concepts you can tell like in the real time, I haven't worked on this, let me explore this and then work on it. They'll give you some time, maybe 1 or 2 days, and then you can explore and then you go back. See, but there are certain concepts you cannot tell, like I haven't worked on this. For example, like there are 5 years experienced people who have never worked on MUnits. You can tell that. You can see, for example, like I have never worked on transform message. Can you tell that? Obviously, no. There are certain things you should know what I have worked on and how to tell that exactly, whether I have worked on it or not exactly. If you know that difference exactly, it will be very good. Now, see, I told you 80% of the project will revolve around these particular services, right? Even what we will try to do, we will try to design a project around these services. Okay. Then what happens? You know the minimum things which is required for the project. And I strongly believe one more thing exactly. If you know the knack of using the proper 20% of the things exactly, you'll get 80% of the results. As per the Pareto principle, I strongly believe in that. If you know the 20% of MuleSoft tool and 20% of the requirements or 20% of the techniques, how to do that, that will give you or cover the 80% of the project requirements exactly. Okay, for example, like there are 200 connectors in the MuleSoft. Nobody will have the knowledge of 200 connectors and even 30 plus modules. For example, 30 plus components. Hardly in my experience also, I have utilized maybe 10, 15 connectors, okay, and maybe in 10 to 15 components. See, but only thing is like you can easily get into that. So for example, like requirement came in, we studied it, and immediately what we can do, we can go through the documentation, we'll understand it, and then we'll proceed further. Okay. See, why I'm telling this point is like any project or anything, we cannot cover everything. See, for example, like if you take a MuleSoft tool also, if you wanted to cover the MuleSoft tool, it will take so much of time exactly. Okay, that is the reason as an experienced trainers, what we will try to do, we know which 20% of the features are helpful to achieve the 80% of the results. Okay, that is the reason I told you these are the services. And if we design the project on these services, what happens is you will be getting that 80% results. That is the only reason. Rest 80% you can learn for achieving the 20% results later. Because first of all, we should, with minimum efforts, we should achieve the maximum results. That is the motto exactly. Okay, got it right? Yeah. Any confusion? Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Silence, I'll take it as okay, and then I'll proceed further. Okay.
Yeah,
Now.
hello. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I had doubt.
Yes, please.
So factors are for using with connected with the backend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Not with the front end.
No, actually, see, obviously, MuleSoft act as an intermediary layer. Actually, okay, what happens is the front end services, whenever they wanted to leverage some backend services, right? Obviously, they'll not be allowed to use them directly. There, obviously, MuleSoft comes in picture, and APIs will be developed, and that API will be exposed to the front end systems exactly.
Okay.
Okay. See, for example, like what is the job of MuleSoft? MuleSoft job is to develop two things, APIs and integrations. Okay, APIs and integrations. Why APIs and integrations? What is API? What is integration? API means, see, whenever there is a system to consume our service exactly, we'll expose that as a service. Okay. Now what happens? Whenever the consumer is required, he'll consume it and we'll give him the response exactly. What is the integration? Integration means there is no consumer at all. There is a source system, there is a target system. When there is an event, what we will try to do, we will drag the data from or pull the data from the source system and then put it in system or source, target system. Okay. For example, there is a Salesforce system and we need to pull the data from Salesforce and put it into database, for example. Now there is no need of exposing your integration as an API basically. Okay, that's the reason what we'll try to do, we'll develop an integration and then we'll try to deploy it and use the services exactly. Okay, main job of MuleSoft system is to develop API or integration exactly. It's clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is also very, very important. What is the job of MuleSoft exactly? Develop? Integration. What is the difference between API and integration?
API, when source system has to consume that service,
okay,
develop APIs.
Okay.
When we have to, if it is an event based, we'll go for integration services.
Yeah, good. See, that's what exactly. Okay. See, now we know like what are the major things required for the project, right? Now we'll discuss the project requirements exactly. Like, see, I think we covered this particular point, and we'll go to project life cycle discussion. See, what is project life cycle exactly? I think already you might have known what is API lifecycle, right? Or project lifecycle, right? See, project lifecycle generally what happens is a SDLC. You require the gatherments. You require the so you gather the requirements and then develop it, test it, and then deploy it. Exactly. This is the thing what normally happens in the industry. But when it comes to API, there is some more process for it also. Exactly. Okay. It is also similar, but you'll have some certain extra steps. Exactly. Okay. What are the certain extra steps exactly? See, when it comes to project lifecycle means API lifecycle. For example, API lifecycle. First, normally what happens? Gather the requirements. We'll gather the requirements, right? Who will do that? Who will do this task exactly? There will be a, for example, like I'll just take an example. One example of there is ICICI Bank. Okay, and there is some TCS or Capgemini or some company exactly. Okay, now ICICI Bank wanted to introduce some this one transactional loyalty management project exactly in their system. Now what happened? They have decided TCS is our developing partner. We'll give the project to them exactly. Now what happens exactly? The business team of ICICI Bank will be there, right? Okay, already the costing, the bidding, everything is over. Okay, they have finalized, they might have received biddings from so many partners exactly, maybe the services partners, but they have finalized TCS. That part is over. Okay, now we'll have a team from TCS also. Again, business team and technical team. Technical team means obviously the architect, solution architect kind of people exactly. Okay, now what happens? First of all, before getting the project to the developer hands exactly, there is a certain process. First of all, we should know what is the requirement of the client, right? Now, ICICI Bank has thousands of requirements, but we will not be covering all those things exactly. But the present situation is like they have the requirement for transaction and loyalty management. Now, the business team of this transaction and loyalty management will discuss the requirements with our team exactly, our company team. And these people also will interact with them. There will be so many meetings going on to and fro, and then they will see there are so many things which are required for them, but it is our responsibility to tell them whether it is possible in real time or not. Okay, there are certain requirements which will not be achievable, right? Even that also we have to set the reality and all exactly. Once the discussions are over, what happens is we will be getting what is the output of these two discussions exactly? Business requirement documents or function specification documents. Who'll make this ready? Okay.
TCS.
Yeah, the business team. See, ICICI Bank business team's responsibility is to give the requirement. Okay. Now these people have gathered the requirement and they've documented it in a structured map. It is done. Okay. Now, what for this technical architect is there? He will be there constantly to monitor whether these business people are giving some what to say, like over promising or something like that. See, for example, like they have business team always over promise everything, and later on what happens is the technical team will be the sufferers and they will not be able to implement certain requirements exactly. Because of that reason, what happens? Always the solution architect will be there to stop them. Okay, this is possible, this is not possible. Okay, that is the reason. Obviously, the technical architect also will be simultaneously following with the business team there. Okay, now the BRD and FSD is ready. Now, with the help of this, what happens is our architect is there, right? He will design the HLD. Okay, what is that? High level design. Sorry, I forgot this. What is this? Business requirement document. What is this? Functional specification document. See, they may call differently, but all are similar exactly. Okay. See, we got the business requirements. We need to document them in a proper structure. Okay. Right. Now, see, even business discussion is over and the high level design is also over. Now the job of developer starts here, basically. Okay. Now, obviously what happens, this requirement will be passed on to a technical team. Technical team will consist of developers, lead, and testers. Right? See, obviously lead will be there, project manager or team lead or however it is structured in that particular organization, you will have that. But we'll ignore everything and we'll see to the technical part of the project exactly. Now what happens? Technical team will receive the documentation from architect saying that this is the BRD, this is the high level design exactly. Now what happens? The developers and the technical team will sit together, will go through the documents very clearly, and then note down all the queries once again. They will interact with whom? Again, the architect and the business team, not with these people initially. With most of the time, we'll interact with our business team and technical team initially. And then if there are any queries which are not answered by our business team or technical team, then we again go back to the client's business team. Okay. Now your document is ready and your queries are also answered. You are very clear with the requirement. You are very clear what you have to do. At least maybe not exactly the developer, at least the team lead or the technical lead is very clear, and even architect is very clear. Now technical lead has the clarity. He'll be having some developers, 3 to 4 developers or 5 developers or 10 developers generally. Okay, depends. For integration projects, the size of the team will be from 5 to 100 people or 200 people also. It depends on the size of the project exactly. Okay, based on that, now the developer has, so the team lead has the clarity of what needs to be executed. Now what happens, the team lead will have daily calls and he tells all the requirements to the developers exactly. What he will try to do, he will try to divide the task and delegate the task to different developers. Exactly. Okay, this is the way normally what happens in the see, once we receive, for example, like I am the developer and I received a requirement. Okay, I received a small module. For example, like there are 10 APIs needs to be developed and 1 API has been given to me. Okay, now what will happen generally? What is the first step to start the process MuleSoft journey? The first step is to design the API specification, right? Exactly. See, you already have the documents. You know what is the request structure, what is the response structure, what is the query params, URI params, okay, what is the URL, which environment you need to deploy. All these details will be already clear exactly. Now, what you will try to do, first of all, at least you have the request and response structures, right? You'll go to RAML and design center and you'll design the RAML exactly. Okay. See, first step is design API specification. What is the terminology to need to be used? API specification, not RAML. We will design API specification in design center using RAML. But normally people use design RAML. Okay, but design API specification. What is the API specification? API specification will consist of what is the request structure, what is the request example, what is the response structure, what is the response example. All these details will be in the API specification. It is like a building plan before constructing the building. Okay, everything is in the paper. Okay, it should be, the request structure should be like this. The response structure should be like this. That way, everything is mentioned there. Okay, API specification or API spec also, some people use API spec. Some people tell design the contract. See, whatever the terminology is exactly, you should not be confused. API specification, design RAML, design contract, whatever it may be, you have to be clear. Okay, so some team leads will use like design contract, some team leads API spec. Okay, these are the terminologies which will revolve around exactly API specification. Now, so you have designed it, but it should be validated, right? Exactly. Now, what we have to do, we have to go back to the business team and then get the RAML validated. Okay. See, because in the discussions, there may be some changes, right? We follow agile methodology in the present project market. Exactly. Okay. Because of that reason, what happens is whenever you have the total concrete plan with you, there may be some small changes in the plan. Exactly. Right. Because of that reasons, what happens is you need to take the feedback of the business team also. Okay, time to time. Now you have designed the RAML or API specification, and then you go back to the business team. Now, what business team will do? They will verify whether it is according to the requirements or not. If they say yes, then we'll go to the next step exactly. Okay, now get it validated from business team. Okay, then start implementation. Now he said, okay, everything is fine. You can go ahead with the implementation. See, there is two terminologies which will be utilized. Exactly. Normally we use develop or development. Okay. In API technology or API terminology, most of the time we use implementation, especially MuleSoft. Exactly. Start implementation or start development. Whatever it is similar. Okay, don't confuse with again the terminologies exactly. Start implementation. What does it mean? Now you import the RAML or API specification to your studio and start implementing it. Clear, right? Till so far, any questions? Okay. Now we started implementing it. What is the role of developer here exactly? You imported the project or you imported the API specification to your studio. And one more thing I forgot to tell you. MuleSoft project, some people will call as application, some people will call as project. Okay. See, have you developed your system application or system API? They call like that actually. Okay. See, again, that is the terminology will be utilized. See, for example, I'm the team lead, I'm using most of the time application. Some other person is there, he's the team lead, he's using project. Okay. Again, the terminology will be different. That is the reason you should understand that particular terminology also. Okay. Don't get confused with again, what is project, what is application or something like that. See, generally what happens, project means the entire project will call it as project. But in especially MuleSoft, have you deployed the project? We'll ask deployed the project exactly. What does it mean? Have you deployed that particular API basically? Okay. Application or project. That is again, you need to follow. Now you started implementing it. What is the responsibility of implementation exactly? You need to test locally also. Means what? You develop the logic, entire thing is ready. Now what you have to do, you have to test it. Okay. Now you know what is the request you are sending, what is the response you are getting. Okay. There may be so many blockers. I told very simple, like you have done your implementation. For example, like there are 3 to 4 services which needs to be consumed. Even I told in the earlier slide, I told like there are database, there are REST services to be consumed, right? In the same way, whenever we have a Mule application, we need to consume some other services. Even for example, if that service is not ready, you have to wait for that. If that service is not ready, you cannot test it, right? Exactly. Okay. Because of that reason, there will be to and fro conversations in this particular journey. You will be interacting with so many people, whom business team, the architect team, okay, your team lead, maybe with some other third-party people also, because you're consuming their services. Maybe the other teams or outside people, outside of the organization or inside the organization. See, you have the maybe your requirement will be consuming your inside APIs or outside APIs also. Okay, it depends on the requirement. In this process, what is important? You will be communicating with all the people. You should know. See, for example, like you wanted to consume a REST service. He has given only host. He hasn't given the port, path, anything. How can you consume that particular REST service? You cannot consume, right? As a developer, it is your responsibility to know I need host, port, path. Okay, maybe if there is an authentication on it, how to generate the token, all these you should get it from the service provider. Okay, who is the service provider? You are the consumer, he is the service provider, because we are consuming the REST service of other team or other organization. Exactly. It is our responsibility to get all those details also. Okay. Now what happens? Everything is ready. You have done it and you are tested locally also. It's fine. Now your code is working as per the requirement, as per the expectation. What is the immediate job? We should develop units also. What are units actually? This is unit testing. Okay. It is similar to JUnit in Java generally. Okay. What is happening? See whether your code is getting the total coverage or not. And unit testing is nothing but it is the responsibility of a developer, whether your code is in a proper working condition or not. With the help of that test, we can confirm exactly. Okay, even that is also ready. So every organization will have different requirements. Some organizations will have 80% coverage exactly. 80% coverage means what? See, all the components has to be this. See, for example, there is a choice router and you have different routes exactly. You covered only some part of the code and you haven't covered the other parts exactly. Now what happens? Obviously, that will not be allowed in the pipeline. It has only 50% coverage. Okay. Minimum, most of the projects which I have seen, they ask for 75 to 80% coverage actually. If your coverage is more than that only, then your test will be passed. We'll be covering that part also exactly. Okay. Now, fine. You have developed units also. That is fine. You think your API is ready and it is working very fine. Okay. As per your expectation. But the quality assurance team will come into picture right now. Okay. The quality assurance people will come into picture and they will start testing. Why we will do actually, see, already I have developed and I have tested everything. What is the purpose of quality assurance team exactly? See, any product, for example, like normally we see, right, our children are very good for us exactly. Okay, if we give the other people's, if we give the responsibility to other people and tell what is good and what is bad, they will point out very easily, right? Obviously. Well, otherwise, every child will be, for us, for example, I have a son, I'll tell he's very good, he's very nice, and he's perfect. But when I give the responsibility to some other parent and ask, evaluate the goods and bads of it, exactly, then they will be able to judge very properly, right? The same way, the quality assurance people will be testing the application now. Now, see which environment they will try to use exactly. Till now, you will be utilizing dev environment exactly, dev and local. Okay. Now the quality assurance team, generally what happens, they will be starting testing your application on SIT. I'll tell. What is SIT? System integration testing. See, what does it mean exactly? Normally what happens is, for example, an API is there. Exactly. Okay. That is one module of the entire journey. Okay. Now you will be testing your API only. The entire journey is not tested properly, right? Okay. But the responsibility of the QA team or the quality assurance team or testing team, what is it? They will test the entire journey properly. What is that? That's what system integration testing. You are integrating the modules which were developed individually. Okay. And then you are testing it. Now they will raise the bugs. Most of the time you will have bugs for sure. Now what they will do, they will raise bugs. They will send the report for us to developer. Now developer have received the test cases report. What is failed, what is successful, why it failed. See, there are certain cases. What happens is you see the tester also doesn't know to test it properly. There are certain cases we'll tell them, oh no, that is not the way you have to test. This is the expectation. This is the thing. You also have to give some knowledge to them exactly. Even for the tester before proceeding testing, right? It is the developers or the team lead's responsibility to give the entire knowledge of what needs to be tested, what needs to be evaluated exactly. Okay, we'll give the knowledge, right? In that process, some test cases are proper, some functionalities are proper, but they don't know how to test it properly, or that way we need to justify everything and we need to execute, we need to eliminate those cases. We'll do that. Some cases will be we are missing. Okay, some cases we have done some mistakes or we didn't think that way exactly, and we missed some functionalities exactly. Now what we need to do, we need to solve those bugs. Okay, solve those bugs and then promote it to the next environment exactly. Now now again developer solve or fix bugs and again push into SIT environment. He'll test locally and again we'll send it to SIT. Now what happens? SIT is done. Testing team told everything is proper. You can go ahead. What do they tell it for it? Sign off. Okay, the terminology used for everything is proper. You can go ahead. For that, sign off is the terminology they use. You'll get see here we need to follow a very, very important step. Always you need to have the email communication with the team members. With the internal team members as well as the internal other project team members or external project stakeholders. Exactly. You need to always have to maintain the email communication. Otherwise, it would be tomorrow they'll change the words exactly. Later point of time. That's the reason. Obviously, always email is the main point of communication. You should not tell like a Teams chat or something like that. Official communication channel should be email only. Okay. Now we have fixed the bugs also. Now they told the testing team have told it's very nice. You can go ahead. That's fine. Now what is the next step exactly? UAT. What is that? User acceptance testing. See, who will do this exactly? Business users and the business stakeholders. Business stakeholders. Who's ICICI Bank's business stakeholders are there, right? They have given us the requirement, right? And our business team has also understood and they have made the business requirements document, right? These two people will do the UAT testing. Okay, where they will do exactly? In UAT environment. See, whose responsibility is to deploy the code from dev to SIT? Developer only. SIT to UAT, again developer only. Got it, right? See, normally what happens, you will be thinking, okay, I deployed to development, that's over. No, from dev to SIT is your job. Again, fixing the bugs raised by the testing team is your job. Okay, you have done it. Again, push the code to dev to SIT. Again, they have checked it. They have tested all the test cases and they signed off. Then it is your responsibility to move the code to UAT again. Okay, fine. Now you have moved the code to UAT. That's fine, right? UAT also, there are minimal chances of getting bugs or raised at the UAT level because already we have done at the SIT level itself most of the time. For example, if there are any concerns raised in the UAT testing by the business users, again, we need to take those considerations also. Again, come back, same procedure. Local, do testing, send it to SIT, again test, and then UAT will test, and then we'll go to the further steps exactly. Okay, now UAT is also, we received sign off. What is the next step? Till now, actually, for example, like users are testing it, right? How do they test exactly? They'll send one request and they will see whether the response is received or not. But in real time, what happens? Is that the case? For example, like I'll take ICICI mobile net banking application. Simultaneously, how many users will be using it? Lakhs of users, right? Or thousands of users, right? Whether we are testing in that way. User test, he'll come, or maybe some 10 users came in, and some 10 users, they tried different cases, and then they are. But for minutes or hours, how many requests we are getting? Very less in number. It's ignorable and not at all countable also. Very less in number, exactly. But in real time, thousands and lakhs of requests will be coming. Okay. And how to handle that exactly? For that reason, we'll have another step exactly before going to the production. See, that case is production, right? Before going to now, for example, like from UAT, I took it to production directly. What happens exactly? The system will not have the capability to handle the thousands and lakhs of users. Okay. For that reason, what we will try to do, we will go to pre-production environment. What is pre-production environment? We'll do performance testing here. Who will do this performance testing? Again, QA team only. See, there will be separate performance testers generally, but they belong to QA team. Okay. Now, what happens? What is the thing they will be checking exactly? What is the response time? Whether every organization will have some requirements. This is the response time. It should not, for example, like you went to an e-commerce portal and it is taking 1 minute of time to load. Do you stay in that website for more time? Immediately will come. And for example, Flipkart is having for one particular product, it is taking more than 1 minute exactly. Okay, lakhs of users are there for purchasing that product. How much business loss will be there for the entire organization exactly? Okay, for that reason, what they will do, they will have certain response times. This is the maximum response time. If it is increasing, there should be some specific business reason for that exactly. Maybe a huge file upload or something like that in that process is there. Because of that reason, it is taking time. Now, what happens exactly? Now, that response time is proper. For example, I have set for my API, it should not exceed 500 milliseconds. Okay, 500 milliseconds means half second. Okay, and in performance testing, that will be tested. That is one thing. Other thing is like, for example, like our API will already business team will tell maybe in 1 hour, 10,000 users may use it simultaneously. Okay, in performance testing also, we will create the same kind of environment. Okay, in 1 hour, we'll try to push in 10,000 users and we'll see whether it is capable of handling it or not. Okay, for example, it will not be capable. The reason being you have kept minimum vCore, minimum CPU and all, right? Now what happens, the performance tester will increase the memory and the CPU levels also. And he will find the check mark there. Now he found the check mark and he will tell at this point of memory and CPU, this is able to handle the 10,000 users traffic. See, in the future, if it is exceeding that also, again, we need to go for horizontal scaling or vertical scaling. We'll discuss that also. Okay. But still, we need to have some planning before going to production, right? Because of that reason, now the performance testing team has given you the requirements. Okay, this is the CPU, this is the memory. Now you got the requirement. That is also done. He also, for example, like if it is taking more than 500 milliseconds, again, it is your job to set the performance. Maybe you should use caching, maybe you should use parallel processing. All those needs to be again carried out. Okay, at any step, it will come back to the developer only. Okay, that is the reason as a developer, you need to have the interacting capabilities with the other teams also. Okay, always try to, whenever you people are working in teams also, right? Always interact with each other and then try to inculcate that habit. Okay, fine. Now, the performance tester has given the benchmarks. This is the CPU, this is the memory and all. He told us exactly. Now, what we will try to do, we'll go to next step. What is that? Production. What is production? Now, it will be used by the actual users. Okay, at this point of time only, we'll go to and production plus disaster recovery. What is disaster recovery exactly? There are two environments, production and disaster recovery. See, I told you dev, SIT, UAT, pre-prod, prod, DR. See, ideally, these are the 6 environments which should be available in the organization. But because of the cost constraints exactly, some organizations will have dev, UAT, prod. They will do performance testing, user testing, QA testing, everything in UAT itself. Okay, but ideally 6 environments should be there. Okay, you should not get confused. Okay, this organization has 6 environments, this organization has only 3 environments. Okay, they will do all the activities, but they will utilize the less number of because of the cost. Exactly. For example, like for setting up each environment, there is a cost involved, right, in the process. Okay, because of that reason, obviously, they will be aware of, okay, how many environments should be set exactly. Okay, now production, you know, but then what is this DR or disaster recovery? Especially the critical organizations will have this environment exactly like banks. Okay, the reason being, for example, recently 3-4 years back, Chennai or Vizag was badly affected by the cyclone, right? What happened? The entire electricity infrastructure was affected and 3-4 days power was cut and nothing was working there. For example, power is not there, internet will not work, and your data center, for example, like ICICI Bank had a data center in Vizag. Now, the entire world operations are working from Vizag data center and all the servers are in Vizag data center only. Now, if the services are down for 4 to 5 days, what is the business loss for ICICI Bank? There'll be huge loss, right? Now, for that reason, what they will try to do, they will set up another similar data center, which is strategically less getting affected when compared to Vizag, exactly, maybe Mumbai or Delhi. What happens? They will maintain the same data of this production in the DR also. Within a matter of 1 hour or half an hour, they will switch the entire services to DR. Only the services will be down for maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. Once again, Vizag is cool and everything is proper, they will again bring back the DR to production. That is the reason you require for business criticality services or organizations, it is required DR also. DR is very much required, exactly. Okay, disaster recovery environment. But most of the organizations will not have exactly. Okay, but business critical organizations or those organizations will be having. Now, here also I'm telling you, there is a probability of not having some environments. Okay, right? Maybe DR will not be there. SIT will not be there. WVAT production, that's it. Okay, that way you need to have the understanding. This is the total project life cycle. See, it started from where requirements gathering, and then reaching the technical team, and then we design the API specification. Okay, then we have validated it from the business team. We started implementing it, tested locally, MUnits. Next, QA testing, they raised bugs, we sorted it out, and then UAT, pre-prod, prod. This is the project lifecycle. Okay. In the meantime, in the API lifecycle, we need to have some securities also. We'll be applying some policies actually. Okay, that's security. In API lifecycle, we'll have certain other steps. We'll discuss that in the later sessions exactly in detail, like what are the steps in the API lifecycle exactly. But almost this is the landscape. You got the you got it right? Any questions so far? See, actually, it depends on so many factors generally, and depends. See, what are the factors it depends on? For example, like what is the size of API? What is the complexity? Okay, what are the number of services? For example, like one service is there, you need to consume it, and without that service, you will not be able to proceed further. Okay, it is not only in your hands; it is dependent on the other factors also. Because of that reason, normally what happens is for a simple API. From design to till UAT production and all, they'll have some plan and all exactly. At least 1 week to 10 days will be given in a bigger organization. If small organization, again it will reduce. See, for API specification designing, and then again doing implementation and MUnits and all, and then pushing it to maybe directly UAT. Okay. See, again, see, you pushed it to dev and SIT. Tester is not ready. He is busy with some other work, but it is not your responsibility. Your work is over. Exactly. Okay. It depends on so many factors. But medium and complex, it goes. Minimum 1 week to 10 days will be the time given to you. At least 1-2 days for RAML design, 1-2 days or 2-3 days for implementation, and then 1-2 days for MUnits and deploying and all this exactly. Okay. Right. Any questions so far? Come again. Dark deployment. What is that exactly? Okay. Even I'm not sure. I'll check and tell you exactly. Even I haven't heard till now. Okay. Yeah. Any questions from the online people? Actually, offline people are asking. I think they finished. You people can ask your questions.
Sir, do we get the recordings later of this session since we are
Yes,
recording?
yeah. You'll be getting it actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be telling that also. Like we'll cover that particular part also. Okay, maybe we'll extend the session for another. I think till 9, right? Actually, till 9. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll extend another 15-20 minutes as it is a first day. Basically, I just wanted to give you the glimpse of the project life cycle and what are the most common requirements. Because of that reason, obviously it will take little time generally. Normally, if I tell some timings, I'll follow that exactly. Like I respect your time also. Okay, maybe today we'll extend some more time exactly with all your permission.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now, see, even this project lifecycle discussion is over, right? Now we'll go to the actual project, what we need to discuss further exactly. Like what is that project name? Transaction and loyalty management. Okay, as the name itself tells you, it's a banking domain related project, or it can be used in retail also. It can be used in retail also. See, as soon as you see that loyalty management, what does it mean exactly? Whenever you are a loyal customer to some organization, they will give you some points, some rewards or something, right? That kind of project. For example, like you are a member of Westside, they'll be giving you a card. Okay, whenever you purchase some clothes or some shoes or some items from that particular store, what happens? You'll be getting the reward points there, right? See, this particular mechanism, how we work exactly. There will be certain APIs in it. Okay, the front end system will be the desktop softwares of Westside or the mobile applications of the users and all exactly. But the backend APIs will be developed by MuleSoft developers. Now, it is not our responsibility to take care of the front end development. Okay, we will provision the APIs for the front end developers. Exactly. Got it right? We'll expose the API. Okay, we will test with Postman. and our job is over. The front-end API person will consume it, and again he will test it, and he will see. But it is not our responsibility to develop the front-end application of west side or front-end application of desktop application of west side. Only our responsibility is to just develop and keep the API ready, because the front-end system should consume our API. Got it, right? See, here also, I told you it is a banking domain project, but you can extend the same functionality to retail domain also. I'll tell you for banking, for example, for banking, what happens? You have a credit card. For debit card, nobody will give you the points and all. Maybe the higher end customers will be receiving it exactly. But for example, like you have a credit card, for each and every purchase, you'll be getting certain points exactly, right? You receive some 10,000 points. Now you'll be able to see certain coupons inside that. With the help of these points, you can buy those coupons. Maybe in ICICI or HDFC, whatever the system is exactly. Now you bought those coupons. Now, for example, like I bought Amazon 5,000 coupon. Now I'll go to Amazon website and then again redeem that coupon. Right? Yes, sir. See, first what I did, I have transacted my credit card and got some points. With the help of that points, I got some vouchers. And with the help of that vouchers, I'll go and purchase some items in Amazon or Flipkart, whatever the coupon I have claimed for exactly. Okay. Now, I think instead of giving you giving the money, you are giving the coupon to them, right? Say for example, like if the system is not designed properly, the same coupon can be used multiple times, right? If it is not designed properly. Because of that reason, obviously, for each and every step, the APIs are very, very important for the front-end systems exactly. The front-end systems will interact with our APIs, and we will do the required work in the background for this entire journey. What is this journey? Taking the customer from transaction to the end of the claiming the coupon. Okay, this entire journey will be covering with some 7 to 8 APIs and some points, some endpoints. Okay, we'll have some resources and maybe some 10 to 15 resources will be there. With the help of that, we'll be achieving this project exactly. Okay, see, I'll show the picture also, like how it look like and what are the layers and all exactly. And in implementing this project, we'll follow the API-led architecture. If you are aware, obviously we have API-led architecture. Obviously, we need to follow. That is one of the best practices specified by MuleSoft, right? Obviously, experience API, process API, system API, all those standards will be followed, and we'll be following the industry best standards exactly. It will be almost like a similar real-time project only. Now, this is a flow diagram exactly. Okay. Now, if you see, I just explained the journey. I'll once again take you people through the journey. First of all, the user is here. Okay. He started using the credit card. Okay. Now he made a transaction. There is a transaction API. What happens? For example, use the credit card and it will tell like 10,000 rupees have been utilized in your credit card exactly. Now the Salesforce system is used as the system and it will get updated. Okay. Only Salesforce system will take that 10,000 has been spent. Whether it will create points and all, no. There will be separate systems to create points exactly. Now what happens? As soon as we receive the request till SFDC or Salesforce system exactly, okay. This is the Mule API. This is the end system. This is the target system here in this particular. Who is the consumer? Front end. Means your mobile application. For example, like I am the user of a ICICI mobile banking application. Or I have used it, the credit card in a store or somewhere, exactly, wherever. I am the user, right? Exactly. And the consumer will be the ICICI credit card exactly at that point of time. Okay, fine. Now, the SFDC system is updated with, you have transacted 10,000 rupees. For this 10,000 rupees, I will be generating, there will be a separate system, loyalty point system. For this 10,000 rupees, these are the number of points which you will be receiving. There is a separate system which will be generating it. That system has exposed an API for us. Okay, exposed an API for us. Now what happens? It may be a REST API, basically. Okay, that REST API is exposed to us. What we will try to do, we will try to utilize that REST API and calculate the number of points, and everything will be stored in this external system. Okay, as soon as we received the 10,000 transaction, we told the loyalty management system or the third party service, this particular customer has spent 10,000, generate the points for him. It will generate. Now that is done. Now, what is the next step? I told claim coupon, right? For this 10,000 rupees, I received, for example, 4,000 points. With that 4,000 points, I need to purchase some coupon, right? Maybe, for example, I wanted to purchase Flipkart coupon or Amazon coupon. Already in ICICI mobile banking itself, once you go back, please explore that. It will be very clear. The same journey already available. Exactly. Okay. Now see, for example, like I have taken it and I wanted to claim the coupon. For that, again, I have another API. See, whenever there is a update in the Salesforce system, I am using another API or another scheduler API at this point of time to know the loyalty management system actually saying that this particular customer has spent. That is one API. And immediately I received the points in my mobile application. Now I wanted to purchase the coupon, right? Now what happens? There is another API, claim coupon API. If I click on it, again, it will be updated. I have utilized the points. For example, like there are 4,000 points. For the 4,000 points, for 10,000 rupees, I got 4,000 points exactly. For 4,000, 2,000 rupees, Flipkart coupon or Amazon coupon is purchased. Okay, you purchase the coupon, that's it. Now you use the points, right? That should be updated here, right? With the help of this claim coupon, it will be updated. Now, you took the coupon. Now you need to go to Flipkart or Amazon and to purchase some items, right? At that point of time, Amazon or Flipkart will communicate to our API in the background, from their background, and it will tell the particular customer has used that coupon and purchased something. Immediately, we should get updated, right? Loyalty management system should be updated, right? Even that is also there. Means there is another API. See, for example, like he doesn't want to, we have given another service called revoke also. He doesn't want to use that coupon. He wanted to revoke the coupon and get the points only. Even for that, we have given redeem or revoke. Both options exactly. Okay, now done. And see, if you see here, we have database also. What happens is, we wanted to push the same data to database also for analytical purpose. For example, like there are 1 lakh customers for ICICI. We are pushing the entire data, how many points they've got, how much they purchased, see how many coupons they have generated, all this data to, for example, like if I send it to database, I can generate some reporting and then I can give them special offers, right? For example, see, there are high ticket users. For example, I wanted to generate some offers. If I have some analytical system, then only I can send special offers to them, right? Because of that reason, we are transferring the data from our existing loyalty management system to, we are updating another database. Okay, that is also there here. For that reason, we are updating this MySQL database. Okay, now, and we wanted to update the Salesforce system also in sync, right? These points has to be again has been converted and has been utilized exactly, right? Obviously, like otherwise you will be seeing again 10,000 points. For 10,000 rupees, we might be getting around 4,000 points, right? The same 4,000 points will be visible in your mobile banking application. If you don't update the Salesforce system, it should become 0, right? Okay, that's why we are updating the Salesforce system also. Clear? Any questions so far?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Here, front-end system is like a experience layer. It's a experience layer.
No. Actually, see, backend system will start from maybe experienced or proxy layer exactly. Okay, the front-end system will be mobile banking application or the desktop application. Okay, or so it depends on the project exactly.
Okay.
For example, there are some IoT devices also. Sometimes they will be the consumers exactly. It depends on the project.
Okay.
Okay, see, what I told you, you log into the mobile application. For example, like ICICI, I am a ICICI Bank customer. Okay, I have a mobile banking application there. If I go there, I have used something, I have paid, for example, my rent with the help of credit card. 25,000, I paid the rent. Now, the transaction has been initiated in the mobile banking application, right? The mobile banking application is the consumer, exactly, for transaction API.
Okay, okay.
Okay, got it, right?
Okay,
See,
okay.
MuleSoft always live at the backend, actually.
Okay.
It is, there are backend systems. For example, see here, this is the backend system. It is on top of it. This is the Mule layer. This is the front end layer. This is the end systems layer. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes,
fine.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Right. Now, see, this is the way we'll be developing our APIs exactly. Like we follow the API-led architecture. Okay. What happens? Just for our example, I have taken mobile application, web application. See, for example, like again, if you see ICICI Bank, you have your net banking with the help of laptop or desktop or tab, right? And mobile banking, you will take Android app or iOS app actually. Okay. The same way I have taken two applications exactly. These are the consumers now. And we have experience layer, we have process layer, system layer. Experience, process, system. System. These are the systems. Okay. See, we are following the API-led architecture here. Without the API-led architecture, can we implement the project? Yes, we can do it. But it is the best practice. Okay. See, we can do it, but it is the guidelines or the best practice specified by the industry. If you do this way, you have so many advantages exactly. Okay. For that reason, we'll try to implement in this API-led architecture. I don't want to do these 3 APIs. I'll cancel everything and I'll do only 1 API. I can do it. Okay. But it is not the best practice. For example, like there is some problem in one service, all the APIs will be down. For a simple example, I'm telling, I have designed everything in 1 API. Now what happened? There is some problem in the Salesforce system thing. Even it will not work for the other services also. Okay, that way it is always suggestible to have in modularized ways. That is the reason we are following the API-led architecture, and it will be very, very helpful whenever you wanted to reuse the, for example, like I wanted to, there is some other system, some other API wanted tomorrow. I wanted to use this particular MySQL DB. Already system API is here. I can reuse it. Okay. For that reusability and reducing the complexity in the architecture, we follow the API-led architecture. Okay. It's a best practice. Best practice means it is not mandatory. It should be it's optional. It will be optional, but it depends on the architecture and all exactly, architect and all exactly. But 99% of the time, whatever I observe, it will be following the API-led architecture. Recently, I have seen a requirement with a single API, we can do the work, but the architect of that particular enterprise hasn't allowed. He wanted experience, process, and system. Just pass through. That's it. We tried to convince him, but he was no. I just wanted the API-led architecture. Fine. It depends on the enterprise architect. Okay, fine. Is that clear now? Shall we go ahead? Okay. See, now the next thing is like, what are the topics to be covered actually as part of our program? Okay. I'll already I have told you, right? Actually, like the steps and all exactly. I'll quickly take you through these entire curriculum exactly. First step is requirements gathering. Obviously, we'll tell you that how that functional specification document will be there and how BRD will be developed and all exactly, and how to go through them and how to raise your questions and all exactly. We'll be discussing that. And immediately project life cycle discussion. Now today we have done a little bit, right? At least we'll extend it to some other level exactly, that project life cycle and API life cycle. And most of the projects will follow the agile methodology. We'll discuss that also. What is agile methodology and what are the things are required in the agile methodology? For example, like a Jira is required for that. Jira will be, what is Jira? Jira is utilized as a project management tool, right? Okay. And project management, ticketing. Okay. And even for bugs also, actually. For that also, you'll be utilizing that exactly. Like But for us, exactly as a project management tool, how it should be utilized. For example, like in MuleSoft, what we'll try to do, we'll learn only MuleSoft and you don't know about Jira. Now you went to an organization your tasks are assigned in Jira and you need to do that. Now we'll see how to set up the task there, how to progress on it, okay, how to close it. And if you have queries, how to comment there, all these will be seen in the, we'll set up the Jira and then we'll see all those. What is sprint in Agile methodology, what is sprint, how tasks are allocated, how we'll pass on if there is a delay in the work and all, how it will pass to the next sprints and all. We'll discuss that in detail exactly. Okay, now Jira is as a project management tool. See, here almost 90% of the projects are following Agile methodology, not waterfall exactly. That is the reason we are following the Agile methodology. We'll discuss this exactly. And Jira is for project management. Project management. Now, what is Confluence exactly? There is a tool called Confluence. See, whenever you are doing a project, obviously you need to maintain your documentation in a proper manner. For example, like you are the developer today. Okay, you left the organization after some days. You have developed something. And what happens? The documentation is there. It will be easier for the other people to understand and do something exactly. Because of that reason, there is a separate tool called Confluence. And Confluence will put up the high-level design, low-level design. Okay, all those kind of things there exactly. Okay, you need to maintain your Postman collections. All those details will be maintained there. This is the document management tool. Documentation management tool. Now, see, you are developing your code. Finally, if you MuleSoft is a low code tool, I understand. But whenever you drag drop something, automatically code is generated in the backend, right? You need to there is some files, right? You need to store somewhere. For that, we need the code repository. See, for example, like you developed something in your laptop and there is a crash on it. What happens? Your code is gone. If you have the same on the code repository, okay, remote repository, which is a cloud solution exactly. Okay. Now, if your laptop is down also, or it crashed also, your colleague or your other friends or you can access it once again. Because of that reason, there are so many tools in the market for code repository, but we are using Bitbucket exactly. Okay, GitHub, okay, some GitLab, these kind of tools are there. We are using Bitbucket for it. See, almost same will be the process for the other tools also. Okay, you see here, you can tell I have worked on Bitbucket, I have never worked on GitHub. Otherwise, you can tell I have worked on GitHub, I have never worked on Bitbucket. This way also you can tell. There are certain tools. For example, like you can tell like I have in my previous organization, we never had a Jira tool. We used to get the every day we used to interact and get the requirements in the email and all, and then we used to see it is not mandatory, but if you know this, mostly you'll be covered. You'll not be feeling empty when you go to the organization exactly. That's what I mean exactly. Okay, right. Now for using this Bitbucket, we need a source tree also. We'll see that. And for obviously for deployment, DevOps is the process right now exactly in most of the organizations. For that reason, what we'll try to do, we'll try to set up some CI/CD pipeline with the help of maybe most probably Bitbucket. Bitbucket itself has the option. Okay, we'll use Bitbucket pipeline itself. If it is not giving the the trial version, then we may try to set up the Jenkins. Okay, most probably Jenkins or Bitbucket pipeline will be utilizing for CI/CD pipeline setup. Okay, next. Obviously, we'll be creating API specifications using RAML. We have seen some APIs there, right? We'll design with best practices. See, anyone can do RAML specification or API specification, but it should be with the industry standards, right? Okay, what are the industry standards? For example, like you have traits, you have fragments. Okay, there are some reusable data types exactly. Okay, all the resource types, libraries. We need to utilize all these services and then modularize, and you should reuse it exactly. For the same reason, that's why I mentioned create API specifications using RAML with best practices. Okay, we'll follow the industry standards and we'll do that. And immediately after that, I told you, right, we'll develop the APIs with best practices. There are certain practices which needs to be followed at the development side. Okay, this is known as design phase. This is known as implementation phase. Okay, even this also till I think. Okay, yeah, and then we'll do local testing. Okay, this is the process we'll be following, and then we'll write unit tests, and we'll in the code to Bitbucket, Obviously, we need to check in, right? For CI/CD pipeline deployment, you need to check in the code. Yeah. We will discuss the deployment models also. What are all the deployment models exactly? Cloud Hub. Okay. See, Cloud Hub, on-premises and hybrid. But we will follow the Cloud Hub methodology, but I'll explain you the process like what is on-premises and hybrid exactly. Okay, I'll take a session on it and I'll explain you the difference between these three. But for our approach, for our project, we'll follow the Cloud Hub approach. Okay, and mostly used deployment model is Cloud Hub. And deploy applications to Cloud Hub using CI/CD pipeline. And the other step actually development and production environment setup exactly. Why I wrote only development and production? But I told you 6 environments, but I'm showing you only 2 environments here because we have a limitation in the MuleSoft trial version, right? We cannot set up multiple environments there. Okay, you need to assume, okay, now it is over. We are promoting to the next environment exactly. Okay, that's why we have the limitation in the trial versions exactly. Because of that reason, we'll be actually showing only 2 environments. We'll set up in dev and we'll promote it to production exactly. Promote actually is a word normally people use. Okay. No. Development, SIT, at least dev, UAT, prod, or SIT, UAT, prod. SIT itself, they'll be using it as what to say, development environment also. It depends on the organization. Most of the time, dev, UAT, prod will be minimum. But ideally, 6 environments should be there. Ideally means that's the role model kind of thing exactly. If they have the budget and if they have the proper architecture thing, they'll follow. And next, immediately we need to secure our policies, secure our APIs, right? We'll apply some different policies on it, and then we'll do that. That is also part of the curriculum exactly. And how to explain? See, till now you have learned how to do it exactly. See, learning is one part, and expressing that in the interview is a different part exactly. Okay, that is another learnable skill exactly. We'll tell you like how to start your conversation and how to tell about it and all exactly in a detailed manner. And we will discuss the roles and responsibilities of a developer also. I think already I have covered it, but I will showcase that in an elaborated manner. Now, for example, like HRs itself are asking questions like, tell me your current roles and responsibilities. At least if you are able to answer that question, some 3, 4 points or 5 points exactly, you will be taken to the next level. Exactly. Okay, right. Now, these are the connectors we are going to use. Connectors used in the project exactly. What are the connectors exactly? HTTP connector. Okay, database, JMS, Salesforce, and object store. Okay, these are the connectors. I think we discussed one project right now, right? In that project, we'll be discussing these connectors. Just give me a second. Sir. Now, these are the connectors being utilized in our project, and these are the components. What are the components exactly? See, there may be some other components also. These are the complex components of MuleSoft, which we'll be utilizing for our project exactly. Choice router, scatter gather, parallel forage, scheduler, batch processing, caching, and error handling. Okay. See, because even batch processing and parallel processing are very, very important concepts in real time exactly. There will be so many questions around it. That's the reason we have designed the project in such a way it will cover these aspects also. Okay, right. And these are the policies. What are all the policies we are working on? Basic authentication, client ID enforcement, JWT. See, JWT or OAuth actually. Okay, now most probably we'll be using JWT. Okay. Rate limiting, spike control, HTTP caching. Okay. I'll explain each and every concept around it and we'll try to implement them. Okay. And I told you, right? I think I should be, am I eligible for teaching you? Yes or no? Exactly. Like, see, I'm Mahesh exactly, and I have 7+ years of IT industry experience exactly. And I'm currently working as a technical lead, worked in different domains exactly. Okay. Like banking, finance, insurance, and retail domains. And I have trained more than 500+ students. Okay. In MuleSoft. And see, the one more advantage is like I have interviewed more than 150+ candidates in the organizations which I have worked for. Now, I know what I will be expecting as an interviewer. The same will be inculcated in the curriculum exactly. That's the reason I mentioned that point. See, whenever I know the other side of the coin, it will be very easier for me to design the curriculum, right? Okay, that's the reason I designed the curriculum, or we designed the curriculum in such a way, whenever the person goes to the interview, they will not be easily sensing that person is not a real-time guy exactly. Okay, that's the point. And coming to my certifications, I have cleared my MCD level 1, level 2, and NCAA certifications. These are the 3 certifications which I have finished exactly. I feel like I'm obviously eligible to teach you people exactly because I have some good real-time experience with good projects and complex projects exactly. Obviously, if you people have any questions, you can ask me. But mostly like already I have training experience, also working experience. This is a very rare combination. Normally what happens in the industry is like if they have training experience, they don't have real-time experience, or if they have real-time experience, they don't have training experience. These kind of combinations are very common in the market, but here we have both the common thing, and along with the interviewing 150+ candidates. Okay, fine. I told you the training approach, right? Exactly. Okay, we will use this presentation and whiteboard for experience exactly. Okay, that is one good thing. And we follow a LPP model. Okay, learn, practice, and practice. Learn from the right trainer. Obviously, we'll explain the concept in a theoretical manner and we'll take you through the practical. Always I'll take one generic example and then I'll take a technical example and I'll explain you exactly this. That is the process I normally follow. And practice and practice. First practice is for just understanding the concept. Second practice is for you people have to be faster in the real-time environment. Exactly. Okay. If you follow this model, then it will be very easy for you to crack the interviews or sustain in the real-time environment. Exactly. Okay. That's the reason I always suggest like only 33 to 34% is of effort is from my side and rest is for yours only. Exactly. I wanted to be transparent. I don't want to be diplomatic here. See, online and offline sessions are already provided and the recordings will be provided and duration of the program will be around 35 hours. Okay. It may extend some little bit also. That's fine. Yeah. See, I have completed the session. If there are any questions, you can go ahead. Yeah, you people also have any questions, you can let us know. If there are any questions, please let us know. And I think I have taken, sorry for taking extra 20 minutes exactly. Obviously, there was much content to cover, right? That's the reason it took around another 10-15 minutes extra.
Sir, what would be the timings for everyday class? This one.
Okay, it will be discussed actually like, yeah, you will explain. Yeah.
Because many would be working, so I need to
Yeah,
plan accordingly.
Hi guys, my name is Kishore Reddy. I'm also MuleSoft architect. See, this program is designed in very different way. So here I'm going to make some notes here. Okay, so here so Friday 8 o'clock, right? So Friday 8 a.m. and then Saturday 10 to 12. Okay, we'll give you 10 to 15 minutes break in that. Okay, so Sunday also will follow same 10 to 12. Okay, and again Monday 8 a.m. Okay, after completion of these classes, we will give you 3 days break. Okay. In that 3 days, whatever we explained up to now, so you have to practice it and you need to come up with the different questions. And meantime, I hope everyone, you have completed your basic training, right? So what you can do, directly you can attend some interviews and you just try to make some questions. If you are not able to answer those questions, you can bring up those questions, we will explain. Okay. And the duration is, 35 hours to 40 hours. Okay. And fee will be, I will explain after completion of 5 sessions. So we are going to provide 5 or 6 hours completely free of cost. You just try to attend. If you like the training, then you can continue. Okay, here we are going to, explain end-to-end project with banking project. Okay, so how you need to explain that project, after that we will give you one, PPT. In that we will mention, tell me about yourself, what and all your day-to-day activities. Can you explain your project? Everything we will give you notes. Same you need to explain to the interviewer so that you can crack the interview very easily. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Okay. I think I only posted, right, in different groups, all these things. So you can reach out to me, this number. Okay. If you have any queries, we'll talk. But make sure if you attend this program or not, but try to at least attend this 6 hours completely free of cost, so that you will have at least an idea. Okay. Any other questions, guys? It is required MuleSoft certification. If yes, certification is suitable for 3 years. Okay, here we are going to help you for entry level, MCD level 1 certification. Okay, even if you didn't clear that certification, usually it costs you around, 400 USD dollars in our Indian currency, almost 33K. So if you want that certification, I can give it to you free of cost. Okay, you can reach out to my number. I can help you to provide all the dumps and all everything so that you can crack that exam within a day. Okay. See, whenever you are going for interview, at least they will ask you the certification. Have you done any MCD level 1 certification or not? Okay. That anyway they are providing free of cost, that you will get it. Okay. Once you join the organization, after that you can apply for MCD level 2. So company will give you free of cost. Okay. Okay, this recording we can share with everyone, guys. Okay, all the 35 or 40 sessions, whatever we are going to cover in this project, everything we will give you. Okay, complete document also we can share with you. Okay, high level document, low level document. Okay, data mapping sheets, what and all will be there. Everything we can share with you. Okay, we'll create a one classroom. So for that we will provide access to you. Okay. So that project you can access, lifetime I can say. Okay. Clear? Any other questions? Chalo. If you don't have any questions, we'll wind up this session now. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow 10 a.m. Saturday, right? So we'll meet 10 a.m. Okay. So these are the timings. And we'll post this recording and this content as well. Okay. Any other questions?
Same link.
Same link. Up to 6, 6 hours, the link will be same. You can use the same link. Okay. After that, we'll change the link. After completion of these free classes, we'll change the link. Okay. And we'll create one WhatsApp group. Okay. Some people, maybe from different country or different places, right? So you can attend online. So we'll create a WhatsApp group. There we can help you. Offline classroom is also available. So if you want a location, I can share with you. Directly, you can come here. Okay. Thanks.
Where
all.
we can find the recordings, sir?
Recording, I can directly send it to you. Okay. For everyone.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
Thanks. all. Thanks for your time.